Hi, hello, welcome. I'm Ruth, and today we're going to be talking about two books. And I thought it'd be good to pair these two books together because of the similarity in theme and how the book cover looks like. So, the first book that we're going to be talking about is Never Thought I'd End Up Here by Liang. And the second book will be Adam and Eve's Matchmaking Tour by Nora and Nguyen. So, the reason why these two books I paired together, we'll talk about the cover because I think the cover of both of these books looks similar. So, and maybe because they take place in Asia, and so that's why there's like similar color schemes in that sense. But both the cover has some green and blue coloring, water, and white text. So I just think they feel the same. So I thought it was interesting that both the books decided to do this kind of tropical greenery title, which I think is fine. I think it's an interesting cover choice and art style. So the first book, Never Thought I'd End Up Here by Liang. I am, I can say, a fan of a lot of her books. I have read, this will be the third one so far, and I have a couple of her other books lined up that I'm currently reading and will do a video about it later. And I'll also tag what videos I've done about Anne Liang's books so far. So this story is about Leah. Her Mandarin isn't really that great, so her mom basically forces her to go back to, I wouldn't say go back to China, but go to China to learn the language and more of the Chinese customs and traditions because Leah royally effed up, I would say, and that's why she has to go to China. I've never been studied abroad, so I would love to hear from you if you had a chance to study abroad, where and what was your experience like that. But if you are on the fence, even though I haven't done it, I would suggest if you had the opportunity to definitely try to study abroad. But this was not the case. She was forced to go back to learn the language. Along that, so she's a part of this program and she meets a couple people. She meets Oliver and Daisy, and I will say these two people are my favorite characters in the book. Daisy reminds me of a character called Hinata in Naruto. She's very shy, reserved, very soft spoken, but when she speaks, she has worlds of wisdom. And then you have Oliver, who is brash, confident, funny, just really out there. So very opposite personalities, but they both are kind of paired up because there's like these uh, assignments and competitions that they have to go through, and so they're paired up with somebody from the group. So I think that was kind of funny that Daisy and Oliver were paired up because they're so opposite of each other. Then we have Cyrus, and Leah actually knows Cyrus from a very long time ago, and of course, they are paired up together. So you can imagine how that's going to go. The book focuses not only on finding yourself, learning about your culture, and just trying to appreciate things around you, but Leah also has this ulterior motive, and it was very off-putting in my opinion because I just don't think you should keep stuff inside you because then it just makes you feel like you're a negative person, and you're just festered with negativity. So I didn't like that about Leah. I think what the author, when she writes in Mandarin, so there are certain words that she writes in Mandarin, and I love it because I love learning new languages. So I like that she added that. It adds to the authenticity of the story, especially trying to immerse you into that environment. So I like that a lot. And it also shows Leah's progress in learning the language. And a lot of people who study abroad or stay, in a different country for a while, they really do pick up the language a lot because you're practicing it all the time. So I definitely believable. Overall, I think I'm going to give this book a 2. It wasn't my favorite out of her books that she has written. I think, yeah, it was just more so the vengefulness of Leah that was really off-putting for me. I didn't mention this earlier, but this one I did an audiobook, and it was 9 hours of listening. And I was nice because in the beginning, the narration, there was some music playing, so that was nice. So I don't know if like maybe her future audiobooks that they'll have more music, but that's what I noticed in this audio that I was listening to. So this was an audiobook. All right. Now we're gonna go talk about Adam and Evie's Matchmaking Tour by Nora and Nguyen here. And as you can see, similar themes. So here we have the character Evie, and her life kind of gets turned upside down. So her friend encourages her to go to Vietnam. So this story takes place in Vietnam, to go on a matchmaking tour. So this book is more focused on like a love comedy type. This book also reminds me of a Netflix show. I'm totally blanking on the title as usual, but I will post it here. Similar premise where this person meets someone on a matchmaking tour, and you kind of see if their love blossoms or not, and the struggles and the happy times that they go through. Adam, he is the person that one of the person that is a stake in running the matchmaking tour. It's called Love You, kind of play on words with the Vietnamese word for love or affection. And so he's also a part of this tour, and he's being challenged to also kind of look for love too. There's some family drama that goes into this, but a lot of it is more about finding yourself, not listening to other people's opinions, and kind of just doing what you want. So there's a quote I want to share because I thought this would be very encouraging with whatever we do in our lives. And this one is about bravery. So the quote says, she says that bravery is not an inherent trait, but a practice, a series of decisions you make every day, big and small. And this quote stood out to me because it's just a good reminder that, yeah, people don't become brave. It takes practice, takes time to build up the confidence, to build up just getting out there. So it takes time, and it's a good reminder. So I hope that whatever you are feeling not confident in or maybe unsure of, I hope that quote from this book will inspire you to take one step at a time and face your fears. Another word that I'd like to share of this book, a Vietnamese word, so it'll be like a Vietnamese video word for the day, is called ơi giời ơi. It just means OMG. But for those of you who are not familiar with the Vietnamese language, if you see this, how would you pronounce it? Because obviously, as I pronounced it earlier, it is definitely not how it's phonetically sound. A negative for this book, I really hate how some romance books really love using the word like baby in their dialogue. Like, baby, don't worry about it. Or baby, you're so hot. I really hate that so much. It's a me thing, I know, because I know a lot of romance book says it, but it's just a really cringe word for me, and not a word choice that I would choose when I am talking to my crush, or you know what I mean? I just, that was like a negative in my part. There are some minor juicy scenes. Didn't think it was overly too, rated R type writing, because as you know, there are some books which are thick and really go at it with the romance scenes. This was like a nice balance. Uh both books I think had an equal pacing. It was kind of like a, not too much of a slow burn, but it was like a medium burn, whatever that means. I think you get a little bit of growth with both of the books, but it wasn't, to me, enough for me to rate both these books very high. So both the books I would rate a 2 stars. Please let me know your thoughts. Did you have any favorite characters in these books? Did you like this book? Didn't you like this book? Who's your favorite moment to visit? All right, well, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Happy reading.